Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Huge news to share with you, my friends. We have capitulation from both Goldman Sachs and Ray Dalio. Guys, Goldman Sachs traded their first OTC crypto trade today. We have Ray Dalio Bridgewater Associates. They are planning to invest in a crypto fund. I love the smell of capitulation in the air, my friends. All the institutional dominoes are falling. This is why I've been preaching for a long time. Be patient, be patient. We are headed for growth. Just go through the market cycles. It's all good. Higher prices are coming and a lot of more capital is coming into the market. I also want to talk about Malaysia. They are looking to make Bitcoin a legal tender. This is being reported by Bloomberg. This is significant, obviously following in El Salvador's move. And just yesterday, we talked about the potential of Honduras doing the same thing. And speaking of El Salvador, their Bitcoin bond is now oversubscribed. It's at $1.5 billion, where it was originally targeting $1 billion. The demand is there. We're going to talk about all this and much more. Before we get there, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. If you're listening on a podcast site, please give me a 5-star rating. Guys, heads up, my interview with Congressman Byron Donalds will be live in the morning. He's one of the congressmen who was part of the bipartisan group with Congressman Tom Emmer that sent a letter to Gary Gensler last week saying, hey, you need to slow down on your crypto documentation requests and all these things because it's hurting crypto companies. So pretty significant, right? You had both Democrats and Republicans coming together to do this. So you don't want to miss my interview with him. It will be live in the morning. Now, a quick word from our sponsor, and that is iTrust Capital, which allows you to trade crypto 24/7 in a retirement account. And obviously, there's huge tax benefits to doing that. It pushes back a lot of your tax obligations, and you don't have to incur capital gains taxes right now if you were to trade or sell, whatever it may be. So you're essentially investing crypto in an IRA account. iTrust Capital is a great platform. They have a full mobile app. They have 25 plus cryptocurrencies. They have a great support team that is ready to help you onboard and to answer any questions you may have. They also use institutional grade crypto custody via Coinbase custody. So you don't have to worry about security. Everything is on that front is buttoned up and they're using top of the level or institutional grade custody there. The great thing about it is you don't have to pay any fees to sign up. It is free to sign up. There are no monthly fees. There are no hidden fees. And if you use my link in the description, you get a $100 funding bonus. So if you'd like to learn more, check it out, go check it out. And once again, it's free, so you can go sign up and see if it's for you. Now, let's look at the market here. Not much happening. Bitcoin currently sitting at just over $41,127. And we'll see how things progress. You know, I'm expecting this week to be bullish. Last week, we closed on a very strong green candle. I hope my predictions here are correct. Well, of course, I could be wrong because no one can predict the future. But I think we're seeing a lot of narratives being laid in the media and activities which are indicating the price will be on the rise soon. And there's a lot of things coming up like the Bitcoin conference and so forth. So we'll see what happens. Here's what Credible Crypto had to say, which is he's a great analyst. I've interviewed him on the channel. He said, we still need to break $42,500 to get the ball rolling. As PA has developed over the last couple of days, either of these scenarios would be valid/logical for the triangle structure. We are very close, in my opinion, and highlighting here that Bitcoin has two scenarios where it could go down a little bit more before heading upwards, or it continues the upward trend. And my hope is it continues the upward trend. This week has another strong green candle, but we'll just have to wait and see, my friends. Now, a quick tweet here I want to share with you guys for perspective. And we've talked about this over the years, and that is in 2000, we had the tech bubble pop, right? The dot-com bubble pop. And stocks crashed heavily. Amazon went down 80%. The stock went down 80%, guys. Just think about that. Many of us would not have been able to stomach that. Now, crypto is like that times 10x every month, right? But with the volatility comes the swings upward as well. But guys, those who held Amazon stock and bought the dip, we know how the story ends. They made a lot of money. And the tweet included a letter of what Jeff Bezos shared with shareholders. And I'll read the opening and closing paragraphs. The details of it, you guys can, of course, read through yourself. He said, to our shareholders, ouch, period. It's been a brutal year for many in the capital markets and certainly for Amazon.com and shareholders. As of this writing, our shares are down more than 80% from when I wrote you last year. Nevertheless, by almost any measure, Amazon.com, the company, is in a stronger position now than at any time in its past. So the company was growing, it was doing well, it was on an upward trajectory, but that didn't correlate in the stock market every year, right? The year before they were doing well, and that's because markets move in cycles. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. The crypto market is also moving in cycles, both from a micro and macro perspective. And here's his closing paragraph. He highlighted all the great things that they, did over the year and the growth and so forth. He said, so if the company is better positioned than it was a year ago, why is the stock price so much lower than it was a year ago? As famed investor Benjamin Graham said, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine. Clearly, there was a lot of voting going on in the boom year of 1999 and much less weighing. We're a company that wants to be weighted. And over time, wants to be weighed, of course. And over time, we will be, over the long term, all companies are. In the meantime, we have our heads down working to build a heavier and heavier company. Great principles that you can pull from there, guys. Regardless of if you're investing in crypto or stocks or whatever it may be, real estate, just having the understanding of market cycles and principles and understanding fundamentals as well is important. And I share this so that those of you who are new to the market or new to investing, you understand how to look at the market and not move by emotions and have a macro view as well. But let's jump into the big news, my friends. Breaking: Goldman Sachs, which has $2.1 trillion of assets under management, makes its first ever over-the-counter Bitcoin options trade. And this is being reported by CNBC. The move is seen as a notable step in the development of crypto markets for institutional investors. The bank's first OTC crypto transaction could spur other Wall Street heavyweights to follow suit. Let me give you a preview of what's to come. If Goldman Sachs is doing it, everybody on Wall Street's going to do it. It's just a matter of time. We saw these folks started entering the market, building Bitcoin wealth funds, crypto wealth funds. Now they're starting to trade, guys. This is huge. And over the counter, of course, is essentially not recorded on the markets. Over the counter will be like me going directly to you, giving you $1,000, and you give me $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. It's not recorded on an exchange where it's impacting the markets. So FYI, for those who may not know what OTC, over the counter, is. So this is big news, my friends. And here's a quote: "This trade represents the first step that banks have taken to offer direct customizable exposures to the crypto market on behalf of their clients," said Galaxy co-president Damian Vanderwilt. Now, they did this via Galaxy Digital, which is Mike Novogratz, billionaire Mike Novogratz, who's obviously a big-time crypto investor. They're investing in huge crypto companies. I think they did the largest crypto acquisition to date at like over $1 billion for BitGo, the custodian, and that took place last year. So guys, huge dominoes falling here. Talk about capitulation. Years ago, these people were trashing crypto, calling it crap, talking about you're going to lose your money. Now they're all in. And of course, they, over the years, while they were spreading FUD, I'm sure they were building and accumulating. I've said it many times, and you know, they know the game and they know how early we are. We haven't hit mainstream adoption yet. So they're going to put out certain narratives and accumulate. And then when they're ready to pump it, they put out bullish news. Now, going back to my original thought at the beginning of the video that I expect this week to be bullish and the upward trend to continue. Look at when this news is coming. When we just closed a strong week for Bitcoin last week. So again, narratives being laid here. Now, here's some more bullish news, guys. World's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater, is preparing to invest in its first crypto fund. This is according to sources. And of course, this is Ray Dalio's fund. So Ray Dalio's Bridgewater Associates is planning to back an external vehicle, two people told CoinDesk. Man, guys, this is big. You remember Ray Dalio was trashing crypto and Bitcoin years ago, right? And then all of a sudden he got educated, I guess, if you want to call it that. And then he added some Bitcoin personally to his portfolio. Now, all of a sudden, his investment firm, his hedge fund, is now going to invest in a crypto fund. See what's happening here, guys? I mean, it's clear as day what is taking place. Watch what they do, not what they say. I don't care if Ray Dalio was trashing crypto years ago. I want to see what the actual moves. Is he investing? Yeah. And we're just seeing these dominoes fall. So it's a first signal to date. The world's largest hedge fund is taking crypto seriously with its own money. Excuse me, let me back up here. It's the clearest signal to date. The world's largest hedge fund, currently with $150 billion of assets under management, is taking crypto seriously as an asset class, aside from founder Ray Dalio's announcement in May 2021 of personal investment in Bitcoin. That said, the size of Bridgewater's investment is minuscule compared to its total asset under management, one of the sources said. And other prominent crypto investors are in talks to invest in the fund. When reached out last month by CoinDesk, a Bridgewater spokesperson said the firm did not currently have plans to invest in cryptocurrencies, despite 4 people saying the hedge fund giant was due to enter the space by mid-2022. So, of course, they're going to deny stuff, ahead of time because they probably want to do a major PR release. And of course, they want to take their positions. And remember, what has the price been doing? It's been going down. It's been in a downtrend. So I'm sure they bought the dip. And they've been buying. Goldman Sachs, all these guys have been buying, and now time to pump the bags. Here's a quote: "While we won't comment on our positions, we can say Bridgewater continues to actively research crypto, but is not currently planning to invest in crypto," a Bridgewater representative told CoinDesk via email on February 22nd. Bridgewater issued a report on institutional crypto trends in January. The spokesperson did not provide a response to a request for comments sent today. So it continues here. Well, I guess this other information is not really relevant, but guys, big time capitulation. We saw JP Morgan do it. Obviously, Goldman Sachs. We're seeing Citi doing it, and a lot of other billionaires and hedge funds, right? Bill Miller, Stanley Druckenmiller, Paul Tudor Jones was the one who started this, and now Ray Dalio. It's amazing what is happening, guys. And this makes me so bullish, and I don't have to panic about, okay, these guys are not on board. Is something wrong? They're all coming. They're all getting online here and entering. And, sometimes we want all of them to do it in the same month, in the same year, but we're just seeing out year after year, these dominoes are falling, guys. It's pretty amazing what's happening. Now, this is being reported by Bloomberg. Malaysian ministry proposes legal tender of Bitcoin and crypto. Wow, guys. Wow. Malaysia's communication ministry has proposed to the government that cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin be adopted as legal tender. Man, the dominoes are falling everywhere. Governments, investors, hedge funds, banks, stock exchanges. It's amazing what is taking place. So this is from the Deputy Minister Zahidi Zainul Abidin told Parliament today. I apologize if I butchered that name. Here's a quote. "We hope the government can allow this," Zahidi said. "We are trying to see how we can legalize this so that we can develop youth participation in crypto and assist them." Interesting. And what have we talked about? The younger generation will be more into crypto than the older. Not to say that older generation folks aren't investing in crypto. Of course they are. But every generation is different. And we are products and we're molded by our environment. And a lot of the younger folks now, look, including myself, I'm a millennial, we're part of the digital world. And the digital world is becoming larger and it's going to become a bigger part of our life with metaverse and NFTs and crypto and all these things. So cryptocurrency falls under the purview of the country's central bank and securities commission, he added. Wow, guys, it's like every week we're seeing just massive news coming out for the market. And I know some people are like, well, why isn't the price pumping? Market cycles. This is why I shared that Amazon story with you guys, right? Of let the market cycles play out. The adoption, the building, all these things will eventually culminate in higher prices. So just be patient. Here's something cool as well. El Salvador has $1.5 billion demand for its $1 billion Bitcoin bond. This is being reported by Financial Times. So that bond is oversubscribed. Wow, right? Talk about demand. They should have went for $2 billion, but I'm sure they're going to do multiple iterations or multiple bonds of. So this is pretty amazing. I don't even know what to say. This is awesome. I guess the takeaway is it is bullish news and hodl. I don't care if you love or hate Bitcoin. This is bullish and good for the entire market. Finally, I want to wrap it up here with Ron Hammond of the Blockchain Association. Obviously, Ron is a frequent guest on this channel talking about what's happening with crypto in DC. I'm going to give you some highlights. He said, this week in Congress and crypto, after a hectic week, the House is in recess and the Senate begins the SCOTUS nomination process. Therefore, this week, we are focusing on recapping the Senate banking hearing on sanctions and important takeaways beyond what Senator Elizabeth Warren said. He said, one, like most Senate banking hearings, Senator Warren, was the focal point for the media given her reputation as a crypto skeptic and the partisan legislation she announced at the hearing. However, there is much more to unpack beside her comments that are worth highlighting. He said, Ron said, the witnesses were incredibly strong and showed the committee was interested in hearing from experts rather than shoehorn the hearing into a certain narrative. There was industry, Johnny Levin, who's of Chainalysis Regulatory. It looks like Michael Mosier, and I'm not sure which company he's part of. Academia, Duke Law, National Security, and Use Case. Mike Shabanian, he's part of the Blockchain Association, Ukraine. Ron continues here saying, even though there were multiple other hearings occurring in the Senate, the hearing was fairly well attended, especially on the Democrat side of the aisle. Many members even stayed behind after their question to hear more from the witnesses. There is genuine interest to learn. That is great news. Despite this clown, Elizabeth Warren, that's great news. And once again, we got bipartisan support for crypto now, both Democrats and Republicans. You know, they actually agree on something, right? One of the few things they agree on, and they're trying to push things forward. Once again, Elizabeth Warren's a clown. So, you know, in another interview I did with Sheila Warren, which will be published on Wednesday, we kind of talk about her and her FUD about Russian oligarchs using crypto to evade sanctions, which is nonsense. So in my interview with Congressman Byron Donalds, which will be live in the morning, you know, we talk about Congress and crypto laws and the bipartisan support we're seeing. So, you know, things are looking up, guys. Things are looking great. We're seeing capitulation. The governments are on board. I'm really happy with what's happening in the market. Obviously, I want the price to be higher because I'm here to make money. And we just got to go through the cycles, right? Just be patient. And remember, don't look at the market with your emotions, because that you will get wrecked if you're working with I'm super happy when the price pumps, I'm depressed when the price down. And you know, and look, we all get some level of that, right? Yeah, it sucks to not see the price pump and maybe it's going down, but you don't want to panic sell and do things based on emotions and buying and selling at that point, right? You never buy into a pump, you buy the dip, right? And that's where you have to train your mind and your emotions and to do the opposite of what the, Jim Cramer is saying on CNBC, because the media is training us to think that way. But we know the Wall Street guys, the actual investors who study charts and data and analytics and so forth, are not thinking that way. They're looking at the charts. So I hope you guys are too. And once again, you're being patient. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.